there, and welcome back. My name is Jackie Lindahl. I am a personal trainer and owner of Fit Like a Girl Personal Training, and this is episode number 4 of my Cut the Shit YouTube series.
Each episode, I will be talking about fitness, exercise, health, and weight loss. I will bust myths, cut through the crap, and give you direct, tangible advice on how to help you be successful in not only achieving your fitness goals, but to maintain them and be the best that you can be.
So come in, sit down, and let's have some real talk. So today's topic, I wanted to talk about something that comes up all the time with all of my personal training clients. It's something that as women, we suffer a lot with, and it's something that just needs to be said. My hair is something else today. It's all right. We're going with it. Stop holding your worth and your measure of success to the number on a fucking scale. We tend to want to hold on to this number on the scale that for some odd reason we are convinced will tell us if we are on the right track or off the right track, and God forbid if it even goes up for just a little bit one day, we feel like all of our progress is blown right out the fucking window. When it comes to weight loss and fat loss, we tend to hold the scale up on a pedestal as this ultimate tool of measuring our success for our weight loss or fitness goals. And I am here to tell you, the scale is just a number on an inanimate object. And believe me, you are worth so much more than the number on that scale. Yes, the scale is a tool that can be used to help you gauge how you're doing and keep track of your data points and things like that. But the scale is not the only measure of success for your weight loss and fitness goals. It is to be used merely as a data point, as a tool in addition to other things. I see this and have this conversation all the time with my clients, especially those who are wanting to lose weight and maybe have some really big weight loss goals. So I weighed myself on Tuesday and it said that I was 5 pounds down. And then I weighed myself yesterday and it said that I was only 1 pound down. And then I weighed myself today and it said that I gained 5 pounds. I can guarantee you that over the span of 3 days, you did not gain and lose 5 pounds of fat. Instead, what probably happened is maybe you ate a big meal yesterday or you had a big workout, and that's why the scale jumped up in weight because you're holding on to more water. Even something as simple as maybe you're not as regular as you normally are this week, that can play a big role in how much you gain or lose in regards to pounds on the scale. Doesn't necessarily correlate with the fact that you're gaining and losing fat throughout the week. It just means that your water weight is fluctuating, and that's normal. The scale will fluctuate on a day-to-day basis. It depends on your water intake, how much water your body's holding on to, your hydration levels. If you did a big workout yesterday, and especially for women, your time of the month plays a really big role. On a day-to-day basis throughout the week, your weight will actually probably look like this, where it's going to go up and down throughout the week, and that's totally normal. Despite all of these ups and downs, what you really want to look at when it comes to the scale is an overall trend over the course of 30 days, 60 days. That is what really actually tells you if you are going the right direction in regards to your goals. If weight loss is your goal, you should notice that despite the little spikes, it starts to trend down over time. It will still spike up and down, but overall it's going to go from here to here over time. The day-to-day ups and downs of the scale is nothing to get upset about. It's the trend over time that matters, and remembering to just use the scale as one tool in a whole toolbox of things to measure your progress. I have those conversations with people who weigh themselves all the time where they're upset because there is daily fluctuations, but then on the other side of that, I have people who are terrified of the scale and are embarrassed to even tell me the number. They tell me that they feel embarrassed about their weight because it's really high. Again, what does that matter? What does this number on an inanimate object that only measures your gravitational pull to the earth in terms of a unit measurement, usually in pounds, sometimes kilos if you're a weirdo, what does that have to do with your worth? It's a number. You'll never hear people say, oh, I'm embarrassed to tell you my blood pressure reading because it's really high. No, nobody says that, but at the same time, a blood pressure reading tells me a lot more about your health factors than your weight on the scale. Women seem to believe that society puts all this pressure on us to be a certain number on the scale, and if we're not that number or we're above a certain number, that we are valued less just because of our weight. What the fuck? You seriously believe that just because you're a certain number on the scale and not another number, that you are fat and therefore worthless? What the fuck? Because of this, we demonize this inanimate object in our society that measures weight, that it is a horrible thing, and therefore the scale is the problem. I have something to say. The scale isn't the fucking problem. We are the problems. It is us. We are the problem. We are the reason why we hold this number so valued. And if you are above this value, you're worthless and fat. It's what goes on in here that's the actual problem. Our own perception of ourselves is the actual problem here. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I have had clients that have had big weight loss goals, and we worked really hard and they made so many amazing lifestyle changes, achieved so much in their own fitness journeys, including reaching their goal weight. And guess what? They were no fucking happier with themselves and how they looked when they reached their ultimate goal weight than they were when they were still overweight. How fucked is that? So what was the real problem then? If it wasn't really the weight on the scale, what was the actual problem? It was what was going on in here. It was the things that they said to themselves and the conversations that they had and how they perceived what they saw in the mirror. It had nothing to do with the number on the scale. It had everything to do with how they felt about themselves and their own self-confidence. I'm not telling you to be afraid of the scale. I'm not telling you to throw the scale out the fucking window. I am trying to tell you that you need to change your mentality towards it. Now, I understand that changing your mentality about the scale and your weight and what your weight means to you and how your weight correlates with your own self-confidence and self-worth, it's not an easy change and it's not going to happen overnight. But you need to realize that you are worth so much more than what that number on the scale means. And your fitness and your health does not correlate with that number on the scale. I have seen perfectly healthy, amazing, strong women well into the 200 pounds. And I have seen unhealthy people at a much lower weight and lower body fat percentage. What I am saying is that you need to work on your own relationship with yourself and your own self-esteem and self-confidence so that your own worthiness and self-esteem and self-confidence has nothing to do with a number on a scale, so that you can step on a scale and look at that number and be like, okay, and move on with your life and not be like, oh my God, I gained a pound, I lost a pound. That the number on the scale does not affect your self-esteem when you see it. That you just hop on the scale and you see it as if you would see your own blood pressure or your height. You don't look at your height and go, oh my God, I'm only 5'7.5". If only I could reach 5'8". Got a little personal there. Because me being 5'7.5" and not 5'8" really has nothing to do with what I am as a person and my own self-confidence. What I'm saying in a really roundabout way is you need to work on your relationship with yourself. Stop talking to yourself like you're an enemy. If you were friends with somebody that all they did was shit on you every time you looked in the mirror, or they found out your weight and went, oh my God, you're so fat, you're so worthless, I would hope that you wouldn't hang out with that friend anymore. In fact, that friend kind of needs a bitch slap, not gonna lie. You wouldn't hang out with friends like that. You want to hang out with friends that make you feel good and are fun to be around and not just tearing you down all the time. So here are some things that I want you to focus on, not so much the scale when it comes to your own fitness and health and wellness. Number one, progress photos. Take pictures of yourself every 4 to 6 weeks. I know, even when I say these to my own clients, they give me this like, ugh, progress photos. I don't want to see pictures of myself in my underwear. I promise you, the beginning of your fitness journey or weight loss journey or whatever, take a progress photo, repeat every 4 to 6 weeks, because these photos will show you your true progress that the scale doesn't always reflect. Number two, track your workouts and look at your progress for your workouts. Even if all you're doing is walking, track it, mark it down, write a little note. Walked a kilometer today, walked 10 minutes today, felt good today, so it was hard. Anything that you can think of. If you're doing weightlifting, track your weights so you can see your strength go up over time. This is a great way to measure your progress, and it also helps build confidence in yourself, being like, yeah, I deadlifted that, or yeah, my knee pain went away after working out for 3 consistent weeks. That is a perfect way to measure your progress of your fitness levels over time. And number three, track your consistency. We cannot control what the scale always does. We can't control if on Tuesday the scale goes up, but Wednesday it goes down, and Thursday it goes up 5 pounds. But what we can control is our consistency with our nutrition and workouts. Aim for some consistency goals. Set those goals rather than just a specific number on a scale goal. So for the next 30 days, you say to yourself, I'm going to be consistent and work out and be on track of my nutrition 25 days out of 30. We're not shooting for 100% here because we're trying to live a little and be realistic. But by setting yourself a goal like that, that is something that you can control. You can't control what the scale does and what your weight says. And yes, if you want to, you can weigh yourself. Weighing yourself is really up to you and your own personal preference. You can weigh yourself once a week. You can weigh yourself once a day. You cannot weigh yourself at all. It all depends on you. I have had some clients where they had a really negative relationship with the scale. So I had to tell them to stop weighing themselves for a while. And in that, they focused more on their workouts and their nutrition and their consistency. And then when they started weighing themselves again, they found that they were happier with how they were doing with their workouts, their nutrition, and their consistency, that the scale didn't matter as much anymore. On the flip side, I've also had clients that were like terrified of the scale, and they avoided it because they felt like this number, anytime that it jumped up or anything that they didn't like, they had a negative reaction to it. So what we did on the flip side was I had them weigh themselves every single day for 30 days. And in that, by weighing themselves every day for 30 days, they saw that this normal fluctuations wasn't really that big of a deal. And at the end of the 30 days or the 8 weeks or whatever I made them do, when we zoomed out and I put it on a graph, you could see that the trend, it started up here, but then they ended down here. And there's all this in between. So despite all of these spikes and lows and ups and downs, the trend was that their weight went down the way that they wanted it to. So you have to really evaluate yourself and your own relationship with the scale and what that number on the scale really means to you. Then from there, you can gauge what is the best approach for yourself and your individual journey. There's no wrong way to go about it. You just have to find what works for you. But the first step is sitting down with a piece of paper and write down your weight and what does that number mean to you. Do you cringe when you see that number? Why? Why does that number somehow hold value in your life? If that number doesn't bother you at all, fan-fucking-tastic, I am proud of you. If that number does bother you, that's okay. It's very common, but you need to figure out why, and we need to work on why that number bothers you and how to let that go so that it stops holding you back. That is all for today. I hope that you understood my messaging in this, in that your weight on the scale does not correlate to your worth as a person, but at the same time, there's no need to fear the scale. It is a tool that can be used in addition to other tools if you're looking for weight loss or to improve your fitness and your health. And again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jackie. If you like this video, I would so appreciate a thumbs up, and please share it with your friends. If you want to see the rest of my videos, hit that subscribe button below so you can stay up to date with all my videos and the rest of my Cut the Shit series as it comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.